I'm going to go over the 5 things I hate about my Jeep Wrangler JL, and we're getting started right now. Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Clint, and today I'm going to be going over the 5 things that I absolutely hate about my JL. Some of them are more annoyances than they are actual hatred, but I've had this Jeep a year and a half now, and I didn't want to go over things initially this type of video because, for example, when the JLs first came out, I was like, man, I hate those fenders, you know, and the lights in the fenders, I just hated them. But after a year and a half now, going on 2 years, I'm kind of digging them. I'm probably not going to change these fenders out, so I'll probably change the inner liners at some point, but for right now I like it just the way it is. So we're going to go over the things that I have found over my time with this JL that I just do not like. So let's get started. The number 5 problem I have, or the number 5 thing that I hate, is these cavernous gaps between the fenders and the body. It causes all kinds of, I mean, I have not been off-road, and you can see down in there, maybe there's all kinds of little pebbles and just road grime. They get big enough in there and it can actually cause scratching and scratch your paint, and it just looks horrible. I have actually done the weather stripping mod in here, and it has helped tremendously, but has the potential to get some stuff in there, so we have to be real careful and watch it after I've been wheeling when I clean it up. And the same thing goes for the front. The front's actually worse than the back, I think. You can see I've got the weather stripping in right here. Can you see that? Yeah, you should be able to see that right there. It goes all the way around the front, all the way around to just behind the hood latch. The front seal, or the seal in the front, it works considerably better than in the back, because the first time I bought this Jeep on a Monday, and the following Friday I had it down at Uhari, and I had rocks that big stuck down in there. I was like, no, I can't be having that. So this has worked out pretty well. This is a decent mod you can do to fix that problem. My number 4 issue is inside the driver's compartment. In my opinion, this thing is laid out all wrong. Looking right here, that's my knee. There's the door locks. I have to move around to get to the door locks. Here's the side view mirror controls, and it's just awkward. See how my hand is bent around the door handle? To me, that's just stupid. It seems to me that they should have been able to redesign this whole area right here and put these controls in the arm, like on almost every other vehicle there is. So to go along with that, the power window controls are over here. I've never had a vehicle. My JK didn't have power windows, so I wasn't used to it, but from what I understand, the JKs with power windows, they were over here too, but I think they were up higher. This is just a cluster, if you ask me. The window operation should be on the doors as well, because down here to get to the lockers and the sway bar, all this is in the way. Now when I'm off-road, I'm in 4 low, my gear shifter's down here, so I have a little bit more room to access. But with the electronics that we have with the Taser JL and the Super Chips Flash Cow, you can actually reprogram this thing where you can have at least disconnect your sway bar in 2 high. So this is just, it's uncomfortable, and to me it's not ergonomic. Move these over here on the doors, move these up so they're easier to get to. That's just my opinion. The number 3 thing I hate about my JL is electro-hydraulic steering. What in the world is that? Well, guess what? Your JL does not have a power steering pump with a belt that runs off the crank. Doesn't have it. It's got an electric pump to operate the hydraulics for your power steering. Not a fan. From what I've read, they did it to get better gas mileage. It's a friggin' Jeep. It's not going to get good gas mileage. You're pushing a brick down the highway. Don't ask me how it works, but I can really see some problems in the future with this setup. The second worst thing that I hate about my JL is the Autopark feature. I friggin' hate it. So if you don't know what the Autopark is, you can't, if you try to back up and open your door, and it's gonna go into park automatically, and you're gonna have to put your foot on the brake, put it in park, and then put it back in gear to get it to move again. Otherwise it won't move. Now there's a couple different ways you can bypass that. If you unplug your wiring harness, you can bypass that because it doesn't know that the door is ajar or the door is open or whatever. To me, that's pretty silly if you have power windows and power mirrors and all that stuff, because none of that'll work. So that's not really a viable option. If you don't have power windows, then yeah, you could probably do that. It's just, when I noticed after I lifted my Jeep, when you're looking in your mirror and trying to back up and using your tire or your fender or whatever as a guide. For example, when I back in my driveway, I can see the edge of the driveway, and I use either my tire or my fender to guide me up straight. Well, guess what? Because I'm lifted now, the angle that I see in the mirror isn't exactly true to what's really happening. So I'm backing up, I'm looking in my mirror, I'm backing up, I'm straight, I'm where I want to be, get out and park, and my Jeep's crooked. And it just drives me up the wall. It's stupid. If you're on the trail and you kind of get jammed up on an obstacle and there's a rock or something, or a tree limb or something behind you, it would be beneficial to open up your door and look behind you. You can't do that. That's annoying. FCA screwed us on this one, and we're finding out when all the steering issues and all the wobble, and well, they call it death wobble. I still doubt that what the majority of people are complaining about is death wobble. Death wobble is a holy shit, I'm gonna die, come to Jesus moment. Vibration, you're not gonna have true death wobble at 70 miles an hour. It's just not gonna happen. True death wobble usually only occurs between 15 and 35, maybe 40 miles an hour at the most. You can't drive through it. You have to literally almost come to a complete stop. All right? Going down the road and your steering wheel vibrating, that's a vibration. There's something wrong. I agree. It needs to be fixed, but it's not death wobble. The thing where FCA screwed us, they went cheap on the ball joints and tie rod ends. If you guys watched my video where I trussed my front axle, when we got the axle apart, got it up on the workbench, just because we had to take the ball joints out anyway, I reached up there and I just grabbed one, and this Jeep at that time had 20,000 miles on it, and you could literally with one finger move the end of that ball joint. That is no friggin' bueno. Come to find out, the ball joints and ends have plastic internals. They went cheap. I could understand it on a sport, but not on a Rubicon that's supposed to be your flagship, that's intended and built specifically for going off-road. That it pisses me off, actually. Spicer has just now come out with a heavy-duty upgrade ball joint. They're $100 a piece. So $400 to change the ball joints out to what should have come in it from the factory. That's my opinion. These things that I don't like about my JL doesn't mean I don't like my JL. I love it, actually. This is my 5th Jeep. I've had them all except a YJ, and the JL is by far the best starting platform in my opinion. Now the CJs are classic. They started it all. So my first one was a CJ, and I've got a soft place in my heart for it. But beyond that, I love the JL. These are just a few of the things that really annoy me about it. But is it enough for me not to buy another one if I needed to or wanted to? No, they're not. But knowing what I know now, these are things that I'm going to address as soon as possible. If you have a JL or even a JK, TJ, YJ, CJ, whatever you have, if you have things that are factory that you don't like about your Jeep, drop them in the comments, man. I'd like to hear what you guys think about your Jeeps. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Till the next time, keep the shiny side up and Jeep on.